Hey everybody, this is India with Back to Lifestyle. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We are going to continue my journey through my handbag collection, and we are going to focus on my pre-owned part of the collection. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I know I had some new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. And thank you for my longtime supporters and the people who keep coming back. And if you're trying my channel out, if you make it to the middle, just go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. That'd be great. Okay, we I'm not going to do these in order, but also I'm going to share my unpopular opinion about LV Tasha. But when we get to the LV pieces, then I'll talk about that part because I did tease that out a few months ago. But this is my first. Like I said, we're not going in order, but I will start with the very first bag that introduced me to pre-owned. And I have several videos, a few videos at least, where I've talked about this bag before. But this is the Marc Jacobs multi-pocket hobo in the large size. And Devil Wears Prada is coming back out. When I saw that movie, this bag was in it, and it was in the like this powdery blue, sky blue color, and it was on my mind ever since then. And I bought this bag from a Michael's Consignment, which is still a consignment store that is in New York City. It is also online. Make sure you check. You hear that? We won't get too far into it, but one of the reasons I love a vintage piece, child, just sounds so good. Hardware is just lovely. Anyway, I won't go down a rabbit hole. But and my first purchase, which was in 2010, I got this bag. I think it was 2010. So basically, I've been buying pre-owned items for the past 15 years, and that is the first one. Now the rest of them that are down here on the floor, I will just go in the order I grabbed them. If you do not know about Shop Goodwill online, usually the really nice pieces that Goodwills get in their store, so it could be all over the United States. Check out Shop Goodwill online. It is an auction-based platform, similar to how definitely eBay has started and eBay continues to be. But I got this beautiful vintage Dooney and Burke all-weather leather bag. Love this one too. And I think I paid like $25 for this. But yeah, you can definitely, if you're a Dooney fan, if you got to be careful. If you're a Dooney fan, if you are a fan of pretty much anything, but you definitely will frequently see Dooney and Burke bags, and then also vintage Coach bags. Got to be careful with those too. But you can get some good prices on items that come through shopgoodwill.com. So that's a little secret if you did not know. Another one of my pre-owned bags in my collection. See how I stuff my feet. Is going to be the Fendi. Let me take it out so you can see it if this is your first time. But this is the Fendi Mini. Is this Mini? I think so. Nano something, child. I don't know. I got this from Fashion File. This is the color Peacock. Love it. Like a teal with some green undertones to it. Really like this one. And yeah, so cute. This is obviously not the newer style. Liz from Nothing But Bags has the newer style. And I want to say Lo Ye also does too, because hers is like an orangey kind of color. And they have the newer style, but this is the older style. So if you do like this style, you I'm sure can get a pretty good price now that they have the newer version. I would love a Celeria version of this or another Fendi Celeria or something else. But that's the ones that are in the special leather. And I believe they have like a silver plaque. And I think they're hand sewn or portions of it are hand sewn. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about LV for a second here while we're on this. Well, I'm leaving all the LV ones to the end. Not like I have a lot, but and then because that way I can show you and then also talk about my unpopular opinion about LV Tasha, like I mentioned. The other one is going to be this bag here, which is my Delvaux, which I did do a review video on. Hopefully, if I'm saying this now, Recording India will hear this and remember to link the video about this that I recorded recently in the description box. So click that area, make sure you check it out. But I also got this one pre-owned. This is from Poshmark. All right. Next up is going to be one of my work bags. I travel for work very frequently, pretty much once a month. At one time I was traveling every week. I don't want to do that again, but once a month is fine. And I got this Anya Heimer. I now have two travel bags. One is by Low and Sons. It's the pearl. And then I have this one too. So I just alternate. One week I'll carry this one week I'll carry the other one. So this is, yep, another one. And I got this one from Poshmark as well. Last one up before we get to the LV pieces. And this is a Coach, the Dinky. This is probably like called the wristlet or something. So cute. I can't even tell you the last time I carried this, unfortunately. And I need to figure out another way to use this. So that's on my to-do list. Liz has told us we need to make sure we are keeping inventory and are using our bags. And I totally agree. I need to figure out how I'm going to use this. But I got this one from eBay. But I just love the detail from the dinky rose that they do. So nice. It does have a pocket on the back. But yep, got this one from eBay. All right, now we're into the LV Tasha range. Before I finish, because I have not done a review on all of the bags. Some of them I have, but if you're interested and I have not done a video on it and you want to see more details, please let me know by commenting down below. Also, hit the like button, please. Thank you. Yeah, and then I will do a video on a bag that I've talked about and I don't have a video on it. If I do have a video on it, I'll just reply and then send you a link to the video that I've already done. But anyway, throw that down below if you want to hear more, because that's not the point of this video. It's to go through what I have. Gotcha? Okay. Talking about LV Tasha here. I have three main points about Louis Vuitton, which is not really the name, but when I first saw it, I remember I saw the name in Lenox Mall. And I thought that was how you pronounce it, is Louis Vuitton. And then I noticed it was then Louis Vuitton. Anyway, I wanted to just share a little bit of history there about me. I have never been a diehard LV person. I have admired certain pieces from LV. I've never been a big monogram person, actually. I like some monogram bags, but for the most part, I like monogram in small doses. And I'm also a person where if a lot of people like for example, back when I had learned about Louis Vuitton and had my first piece that I got, which would have been back in undergrad, everybody was talking about the traditional print, the monogram print. And because so many people were grabbing that, I went parallel. So that's usually what I will do is I want to get something from Louis Vuitton, but I wanted something that was not what the same pattern that everyone's getting. So I got the damier print and a little makeup, little purse that I have long since gotten rid of. But this is one of the pieces that I've gotten from Fashion File. I threw another strap on here because this one is very stiff. This is the Dragon Clutch. And like I said, I got this from Fashion File. This is vintage. I want to say it's from 1989. Love that. It looks really good for what it is. I know you're probably thinking, wait a minute, didn't you just say you don't like, in small doses? I think this is perfect. Would I want a larger bag? Not necessarily. I'm not a big fan of canvas. I think in little small pieces like this, I'm cool with, or small like SOGs, I would be fine with canvas, but I gravitate more towards leather. And overall, there are three main reasons why I'm not in love with, like, I'm just not a diehard Louis Vuitton fan. And I definitely have been turned off to the point where I hardly ever go to the Louis Vuitton website. I haven't been to the Louis Vuitton website in probably the past 2 years. And before that, I was looking at the Louis Vuitton website just to kind of keep up with what was going on. But granted, there have been some pieces that have come out and I thought, oh, okay, I do like that. But I just don't have the same affection for Louis Vuitton that some people do have. And that's okay. That's why there are different brands for everybody. Now, arguably, they do have leather pieces. I do think their leather pieces are ridiculously overpriced. There are a couple of leather pieces like bags that if I find them on the pre-owned market and they're a good price and they're special, then if the stars align, I would get those pieces. There's a couple like the Louis Vuitton trunk tote I do like, and I do like the Louis Vuitton capucine. But overall, their leather pieces I think are ridiculously overpriced for what they are, and I think you can get just as good pieces from somewhere else for less money than you can for Louis Vuitton. And people have their other reasons for liking Louis Vuitton, like the resale value, all of that. But overall, that's just my opinion. So outside of that, I I would say probably during the pandemia that happened when the prices were increasing aggressively, there was I was about to say trunk tote, child, that's not the name. I did really like the pochette Matisse. However, I remember you guys remember when the pochette Matisse was like flying off the shelves? I did like it. The part that I did not like, I would have preferred a leather pochette Matisse over the canvas. And even the leather one was a turn off for me for the interior construction because I couldn't understand why they had that, what I considered a flimsy divider in the middle made out of fabric. Why not, for the price range that they were charging for those at the time, something that warranted that price range is really what I'm trying to say there. So that I don't remember what it's made of, but I know it was fabric and I just was not impressed. I like the outside of it. Love the hardware where the S-Lock hardware. But when I saw the inside of it, I thought, for what? I get it, it's Louis Vuitton, but so I just because it's that, I still think there still needs to be more to justify it. And so that's kind of with the background of like not loving or not being so much into the canvas, but then also jumping into the fact that I thought, what am I getting for this? And there are people out there that it does not matter. And if it doesn't matter, that's fine for me. That it mattered. And I thought, yeah, I'm I need some more than that. I know I'm going to be paying a upcharge because it is a luxury good, but I need more than just I need more. So that's one of the things that factored into my my unpopular opinion of Louis Vuitton. Also, let me show you my other piece. I got this one from Rebag and I kind of just like decked it out, made it cute and sparkly. Is this little pouch here that is of this leather. I don't remember the type of leather, but I love the little sparkles I put on here. And yeah, so this is cute too. Yes, back in the Pandanisha time frame, the prices, and not just LV, right? Chanel was doing it. There were a lot of brands that are doing it, but we're just talking about LV right now. Just want to just like why I'm just focusing on this. But the way that the prices increased was ridiculous. But we are to blame, right? We as in consumers are to blame because they bumped the price up and then people went out and bought and sold it out. So then they knew they could charge you that price. And then they said, let's bump it up some more. And then people bought it and sold it out. Like I said, the way the way that the prices increased, it's they did it because they could. And I don't understand the reasoning for it. And people, the reason they kept doing it is because people kept buying. There was a toiletry pouch I wanted at the time, and that toiletry pouch, when it went, I wanted the 15, this little square one. I've told this story before because I have an extra one that does the job for me. When it went over $400, that was the line in the sand. I said, absolutely not. You can have it. Funny thing was, they only had the round one. You guys remember when like you things were just selling out on the website and the round one came back in stock and I thought about buying it. I thought, no, I really don't want the round one. And then the next week or a few weeks after that, the price bumped up. And I just, like I said, thought, absolutely not. I'm not paying that much for this piece. So that was another ticker on the price range thing that I thought, mm-mm. And another one, I didn't even consider this item, but I did think it was cute. Micro or petite pochette, the little, basically like the little a mini version of the pochette Matisse. I remember looking at the website one time. This was like a few years ago, maybe like 3 years ago, and I saw the price was $1,900. Like, we're talking probably this size bag, and you want $1,900 for Candace. Okay, for Candace, you want $1,900 for this. But for what? And that was a turnoff for me also. And after that, I thought, I don't even know why I'm checking this website, because I'm not into the brand like a lot of people are. I don't have the same feelings that a lot of people do have about the brand. And oh, I should say this also. This is my opinion, right? There's no fact in here. Take with it what you will. This is just entertainment purposes only. And then the other major turnoff that I had was when, now I granted, let me just put a disclaimer in here for this. I know LV is owned by LVMH, and there are several other brands that fall under LVMH. But this practice seems to only be what LV was doing and what Shanae was doing. And that is, this is alleged, to be clear, because I can't pay Louis Vuitton's water bill, so we don't want any lawsuits over here. What was happening is the crackdown on people posting like an everyday person. What I mean by that is over on Instagram, and if I can find the video, I will link it down below. It was by Sunshine Love, I want to say, where she featured a few people from the handbag community, and they were talking about their experiences with their posts. But let's say I posted this on Instagram. If I use certain hashtags, the assumption was that these posts would get taken down. And to me, it came off as, oh, so you don't want everyday people posting about their items, which is free advertisement. But okay, I see where you're trying to go, right? You're trying to put, especially over the years, seeing the price increases, seeing the moves that they've made as far as it goes with like the makeup line, about just the way that they're marketing. And then also this crackdown, supposed crackdown on certain hashtags that are being used that are falling under, I want to say, copyright infringement, if I'm remembering correctly. But where you're telling an everyday person like, oh, you can't use that hashtag, even though I'm promoting for you. And I'm telling my, like, people that are watching my page that don't have an item or are aspirationally wanting to go after an item from you, and they say, oh, that's cute, I like that Susie from down the street has got that item, I should go look at it and get it too. You're basically saying, we don't want you doing that. You are not the clientele we want anyway, is what I think the message is. If you have to save up and you don't have to like not think about it and just drop some money, and then able to do that in 2 more months and just drop 10K on something, I think the message is, we don't want you as a customer. Well, if that's the case, I will take my money elsewhere. And that is also the reason. But I think that was kind of the cherry on top to me when that was happening. And I thought, I'm not really into your stuff anyway. And so why am I wasting time here? And also, you're signaling I'm not your customer. You don't really want me in your store. Not that I've ever had a bad experience, but I don't really go in Louis Vuitton a lot anyway. But you know, so overall, that is my general unpopular opinion of LV Tasha. And that is my collection on the pre-owned side. So leave any questions down below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.